Hello, welcome to another video. So today we're doing the laziest of the lazy, making a tier list for JDM cars. Not all Japanese cars are JDM. I thought you should know that. JDM stands for Japanese Domestic Market. Just because it's Japanese, those who know. So I'm doing this for the culture, and I'm doing this to get more views. So we have different ways we're gonna rank these cars. Like for example, as you can see in the top left, Take My Kidney, uh, being the best cars. 0.9 out of 1 with Bang. I really complicated my life with this one, so we'll just call this with Bang. Hey, that's pretty good. Is also one of the you can read, and there's a vomiting section as well, and basic bitch alert tier. So anyway, let's get into it. So we gotta start strong, I guess. At one point, I was worried that I'm not gonna have enough cars, so I just put a lot of cars, and now I have too many cars. But I already created a list, so I'm just gonna make two videos of this. So let's start out strong. Wood Bang. Actually, no, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm. You know what? Never let them know your next move. Uh, Here's a JDM. Also, as we're going through these cars, you're gonna notice a lot of conflicts and contradictions about where I place certain cars and what I say about them. That's because it's not all black and white. I put different cars in different brackets for different reasons. For example, I really like this one. It would go way up, but at the same time, I'm trying to be objective, even though there's no such thing, as you will notice when I'll be putting car in the vomiting section. Uh, but for this one, I'm gonna try to be objective because it really never did anything bad to me. This car, we're gonna put it here. It's a JDM front end Integra, Taggy, whatever you want to call it. The reason it's an acquired taste is because it's an acquired taste. Not everybody likes the front end. If you ask me, I like it way better than the European one. But at the same time, I realize it's not for everybody. I'm gonna try to be objective. Things are gonna get heated up as I'm moving along, definitely. That's where it goes, and that's where it will stay. Cool car, I like it. B18, fucking four wheelers, man. Like, can you just fuck off? Next up, we have an EG Civic, EG6, whatever it is. I don't care. You know what? It's between and hey, that's pretty good. Um, the reason it's is because it's actually hey, that's pretty good. I'm gonna tell you something. Like this car can be really cool. Like really cool. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, there we go. This is what I would like my EG to look like when I would build an EG. Hey, that's pretty good. If also a thing with EG owners, which is very fucking annoying, is the fact that they think they're special because most people have the EKs, the sixth gen, and EG is a bit more rare. But still, in an off chance that I would build one, I would build it, and it would be hey, that's pretty good. But for the most part, they're like eh. But still, I'm putting it there. It's a pretty cool car. K swap it, B20 swap it, B18 swap it. I don't care. It can be a pretty cool car. Only problem is with the owners, they're super annoying with it because they think they're so much better. Because they think they're so much better than the owners of the sixth or the four gen. Like you're not, and your car is a rust bucket. However, it can be pretty good. So it's going up there. I don't care. We have two Hondas for now, so we gotta mix this up. But we also gotta mix it up in a way that we don't use these two brackets, for some time. Problem is, most of the cars in this list are, hey, that's pretty good, or acquired taste. Let's find a meh car somewhere here. Yeah, we can put this one here. Like, it's an MB Miata. So, thing with this car, most of them aren't, well, they're in stock. They're really not that impressive. You're like, you see it and you're like, I don't know. Could be better. But I've seen some that are really cool, but would I buy it? No. That's the thing. That's the difference between the Civic, the EG. I would probably buy it, make a track monster out of it, like all-wheel drive or whatever, time attack type of car. That's why it's, hey, that's pretty good. But I couldn't do the same with the Miata, at least not with this one. So it's even when it looks good, it's like for 10 seconds you look at it, and like even when it's aftermarket or built or whatever, you have nice wheels on it, it's lowered, and it has some tacky chrome shit on it and whatever. It can be, you're like, for the first 10 seconds you're like, hey, that's pretty good, but then you're like, I still wouldn't buy one. So that's why it's in the meh section, because it's whatever. However, the NA Miata belongs here because it's a pretty cool car. It has a pop-up pop-up headlights. It's a nice looking car. I would say that would bang 0.9 out of 1 would bang, but the problem with this car is like they wouldn't. Like, would I pay 10K for this car? No, absolutely fucking not. I would never pay that much for this car. I almost did buy one, but it was a turbo, and since, like, I called up the guy and I was like, what are you running right now, like which map, because it has different maps, and he was like, it's around 220 horsepower, and I was like, oh, I would bang, and then I was like, well, we have this thing called a test, I don't know how to say it in English, where you have to go through all these homologation bullshit, and where they tell you you cannot turbo this car and make it legal because this car never came with a turbo by factory. And I was like, so none of it, no homologation, no nothing. And I was like, hey, that's pretty good. Out of, like, I was like, would bang, and then I was like, oh, so nothing is homologated, and he was like, no. So I was like, hey, that's pretty good, but I'm not giving you 10K for it. By the way, the car looks amazing, the whole setup, everything. But like, in case the wheels were homologated, the suspension and everything, like you could get away with it with having a turbo. Since nothing was, I was like, nah, I'm not giving you 10K. Like, I'm not giving any. I would give you 5K maybe. Anyway, yeah, hey, that's pretty good. You see it on the street and you're like, hey, that's pretty good. I liked it. So why is it now? Morning. I sold the car quite some time ago, but the guy decided to come pick it up now. So this. Okay, let's continue. Yeah. So hey, that's pretty good. Next up, we're gonna take this Evo 9 and put it into wood bang section, wood bang bracket or whatever. Listen, most of us would bang this car. Like, it's a great looking car. It just seems like a good all around car. You can build it for street. You can build it for rally. If you're rich enough, you can rip out the axles in the front and just make it a drift car. Kinda. It's always one of the cars I buy in every video game. I really enjoy driving it. I've never driven one in real life. Just like most of these, just like every single one of these that I put here, I've never driven them. So listen, really, don't listen to me when I talk about these cars. For real, this is just my opinion. I'm trying to be objective, but I'm obviously not. Okay, next up we got a Lexus. Believe it or not, it's the only Lexus on the list. and it's an LS400, and that one is gonna go here. Thing is, I really like this car, uh, except for the fact that I think all of them came with a automatic transmission, but that's fixable. However, acquired taste. Like I've had my battles. Like if I had a chance to buy this one for cheap, I would. I know it would like take at least 15,000 monies to redo a lot of stuff you have to redo in it. Like the cheapest part would be just stripping it out. We're talking about a drift build here. But I would daily it. Even with an automatic transmission, I would daily it. I think it's a boss ass looking car. Like I would definitely as well put it black on black. I would tint the windows. I would Yakuza the shit out of this car. Or I would drift build it. Problem is with building it is it's a bit more complicated. However, it does have one UZ FE engine. It's a Japanese V8. I'm really interested in what the Japanese have created. I know what they created. Like this it's a Japanese V8. I want to drive it. It's like American V8s. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care for it much. Italian V8s cost too much, but they sound amazing. This is just a something. It's just a perfectly in between engine. There's a guy from Slovenia that made it. That made it. Yeah, he made it as a drifter. Like, actually, check him out. Skid shop. Ski shop. Fuck me. Skid shop. Yeah. Subscribe and see. I already subscribed, but now I have to put a bell on it. This guy's the best drifter in the region where I'm from. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, this guy's amazing. He put this engine into E36, and he's been ripping it ever. I mean, even before, but with this, like, he's a murderer. He's like, and the way this car sounds, this sound coming out of an E36 is so confusing. Sounds like absolute fucking menace. So yeah, back to the car. LS400 definitely acquired taste. Not everybody knows that it's pretty good. We have no basic bit. You know what? We're gonna keep the basic bitch open. I'm gonna let you guess which cars are basic bitch tier. Keep guessing. Uh, we got an S14 Sylvia. So here's the thing with this car. It resembles the R33 Skyline too much. We'll talk about in the future. It goes here. It does nothing for me. It's a kind of a semi product of I don't know what we should do. So they put out the R32 Skyline and the S13, so they knew exactly what they were doing. Then they made the R33 Skyline, which is a Le Mans car, and they're like, okay, we got to follow it up with a Sylvia, so they made this. Not a big fan. Seeing it on the street, I don't get a lot of chances to see JDM cars on the street. Uh, Seeing it would be pretty cool. There used to be one really close to my house, and I saw it a couple of times, and I was like, "Wow, that's a Sylvia." And the more I found out about cars, and the more I knew about the cars I was seeing, I was like, it was an S4. It's not there anymore. And recently, I found out it's not there anymore, and I was like, fuck it, it was an S14. So therefore, I don't consider it to be anything but like yeah. Maybe I should have added more tiers. But nah, it's just a car. Like people whose favorite Sylvia is an S14 are sus as fuck. Let me tell you that much. They're just sus. I don't trust them. I don't trust people whose favorite Sylvias are an S14. Uh, you're a weird one. You're a weird one if your favorite Sylvia is an S14. You're just a weird fucking person. Uh, the backhand of the car actually looks pretty cool. The front end really resembles the R33. I don't like that. Next, we've got one of my favorite cars that would usually be in Take My Kidney. Why am I telling you up front what I'm doing? Now I gotta change the car again. Okay, up next we've got a R35 TR. The one that pretty much, like the one that put it on the map for for everyone. Like the Skyline that put it on the map for a lot of people was the R34, but this one put it on the map for everyone. Everyone knows what a Skyline is, right? Our R35. It's a Skyline, bro. Yeah, it's the bet. Listen, you're a basic bitch. You're a basic bitch. You've got all that money and you bought the R35. Seriously, with an automatic transmission, with the transmission that if you do like 3 laps on our local track, like Grobnik, if you do like 5 laps with it, you have to change the transmission oil or else your transmission is gonna explode. Like, no. Nah, fucking buy a GT2 RS or something. It's so basic. This car is so basic. You're just, oh, it's a Japanese monster. It's a Godzilla. You're basic. Fucking with your, go away with your basicness. You spent like, what, 100K in this car? It's not even good. Up next, we got an NSX, though. See, NSX is a double-edged sword for me. Many of these cars are, because I put the S14 Sylvia in the section, but it could be somewhere else, but like for, yeah, whatever. Listen, I'm talking to myself here. The NSX is, I don't know where to put it. Listen, I'm going to put it here. And here's the reason why. Most people who know anything about Japanese cars or like anything about Hondas or whatever, they take shit on Hondas. They shit all over Hondas. And here's the thing. They shit all over Hondas until you mention NSX. The NSX is cool for everyone because Senna helped design it and it was his favorite car, and then they're like, oh, I hate Hondas, but the NSX, however, is a perfect machine because I know nothing about Japanese cars. So, objectively, 0.9 out of 1 would bang. I wouldn't in a stock. When I see it stock, I'm like, whatever. But I've seen some Time Attack built NSXs and they're amazing. So I would bang it. I mean, because I would never buy it stock, or I would never buy it and leave it stock. I would definitely do a build on it. So therefore, it's not Usually, if it was a stock version, I would just put it in because it's overrated as fuck. But like track build, like Time Attack build, NSXs really tickle my pickle. So I'm gonna put it like subjectively there, in case it was built, or I'm building it, and objectively people really like this car, so it's gonna be there. At the end of the day, it's a great car, but just so overrated and actually not overrated, just overpriced. Some of you need to really, I don't know, start taking pills. We're gonna take this Celica. It's a 6th gen Celica. I'm gonna say it's an acquired taste. Like a lot of people don't know about this car, and style like basic trims, like basic versions, are not really that interesting. I don't turn my head around for it. However, this particular version of the car is amazing. So I think it's an acquired taste. Not everyone is gonna dig this car, especially because it resembles the Hyundai 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 Coupe. Um, I don't know who copied who. I'm guessing Hyundai did. Um, and that's one of the wackest cars in the history of cars. Like Hyundai Coupe, people who drive this car, I'm sorry, no. Like Hyundai Coupe is one of the wackest cars ever known to men. Ever. So that's why I think this car kind of resembles it, and they're kind of similar first glance. Oh, it might be a Honda, and then you're like, no, it's a Celica. So it's way cooler. So this car goes here. It's an acquired taste. Some people wouldn't be able to get over the fact that it kind of looks like a Hyundai Coupe. I would. I personally would. So I think it's an acquired taste. I don't think many people really care about this car. Uh, Next up, FCRX7, which I kind of know where to put, but at the same time, you know what? It's here. It's here, and I'm gonna explain why it's here. It's underrated as fuck. Maybe not anymore as much as it was like a year or two ago. But there's one selling. There's one for sale in Croatia right now for 10K monies. And the thing about this car is that it's if it was an FD, right? If it was an FD, it would go for like 30,000-40,000 bucks. The fact that it's an FC, people don't really care about it much, and that's the only reason it's not more popular. They don't know about this car. They're like, oh, an RX-7. So it's this is what I have a problem with a lot of these cars. Is like people who are like into cars, mostly here where I'm from, they're like into German cars. So there's a Volkswagen Golf, and they're like, this car is the best car. And then they found out about BMWs, and they're like, oh, the BMW is the best car. And then they find out about Audis, and they're like, oh, this car is the best. And then their friend goes like, like not only Germans produce cars. And they're like, well, yeah, what do you got to offer? And then they get into the JDM cars, and it's always the same four fucking cars. It's this fucking one, which is not even a good car. It's some other like, and they have no idea this even exists. It's an amazing car. I think like I'm putting it all the way up there because if people knew about it, it would definitely be 0.9 out of 1 would be. In a perfect world, well, fuck the perfect world. This way it still stays kinda affordable and cheap, but this car is amazing. Just the design of it, just the looks of it are amazing. I don't care what you have to say about the Wankel rotary engines. I don't care about that. We're just talking like cars right now. You can swap the engine. That's the point. This is definitely gonna have to be a 2 episode tier list. The last and final for this, maybe not final. Maybe I find the strength to talk about these fucking cars that I'm never gonna be able to afford a bit more. But for now, maybe the last one. We're gonna take the S15 Sylvia. So, this is the problem I have with this car. As soon as they scratch the surface, those little JDM newborns, they're like, they find out about the Mazdas, RX-7s, and NSXs, and whatever, and GTRs, and then they find out about Sylvias. And when you say Sylvia, they always think of this one. Always, every every fucking time you say Sylvia, they think of this one, and I just cannot stand it because of Tokyo Drift or because some fucking video game. They're like, all they know is this. They think this is the only Sylvia that exists. What about the S12, S13, 14? Well, 14 is here. Nobody should care about that. But like, this is not the only Sylvia, so I would have to put it in the basic bitch alert bracket. However, it would mean that I'm calling this guy a basic bitch, and that's just, I don't know who this guy is, but he's definitely no basic bitch. I'm gonna tell you that. Look at this. You cannot call this guy a basic bitch. You cannot call this car a basic bitch. You seen this? This is too savage. I hate using that word, but it is what it is. It's look at it. Even with this I don't know why he rewrapped it. I don't know why it was. I really like that kind of grayish, blackish satin wrap. He wrapped it in this. I don't know what this color is, but like I kind of like it. But when it comes to S15 Sylvia's, I'm just really into black on black. So look at this. This is like people like him are the reason why I cannot call this car a basic bitch car. Um, I'm very confused about what I should do with this car. Like, let's put it. I would not give my kidney for it. I would. I cannot just put it in. Hey, that's pretty good. I think like acquired taste is actually way better than this bracket, but since it's acquired, it has to go beneath. Um, I think it's an acquired taste car for me. For me, like because it can be a basic bitch car, and it's between this one and this one when it comes to brackets. And the reason why is because when I see a kid and he's like, "Yeah, Nissan Silvia is the best car I've ever seen," I want to smack him. I want to smack him real bad, and that's the only reason why this car is so low on the list, because that's pretty low for an S15 Silvia. Let's be honest. That's why I'm not putting it here. Even though objectively 0.9 out of 1 would bang this car, I'm gonna put it in. Yeah, hey, that's pretty good. Uh, it can definitely be a cool car. Your average JDM guy is ruining it. Fuck your average JDM guy. Fuck him. Really, fuck him because he instead of here, this car is now here because he all he knows is the S15 Sylvia. Yeah, it's saying here with a EG Civic and the NA Miata, we have a Sylvia. You see, this is what I was talking about when I said that it's gonna be pretty contradictory. Like I'm gonna contradict myself a lot. That's gonna be the first part of this tier list. So if you liked it, if you were provoked by it, or if you were annoyed by me, or you liked me, or you you know, you should watch the other, like the part two, because we still haven't gotten around to take my kidney and vomiting. You know, we still haven't, and I've got to admit, I'm gonna be a basic bitch. Oh, I'm gonna put some basic bitch cars in to take my kidney. I'm gonna put some cars that other people consider to be basic bitch or vomiting in to take my kidney bracket. That's how it goes. Because it's a subjective thing. Like the LS400 might as well be up here because I would give up my kidney for it. But it's not because I'm trying to be objective. You know? And then if I put this one up here, then I have to put the S15 Sylvia up there, and that's just not gonna happen. This is a just no, nah. So make sure you watch the second the second episode of this. Fuck your average JDM guy.